This film is a true story of 1992 when the world economy was devastated after World War II. In this phase, Dr. Ritter left Germany with his wife and started living on a deserted island. Living here, he started writing philosophy on topics like how to start a new life and how to survive in the world. In his books, he also told about the isolated life of his island. Ships passing near the island used to carry his writings. His philosophies and stories started getting published in newspapers and the world started liking them so much that soon he became famous all over the world. People even started following him. Similarly, one of his fan couples, Hans and his wife, seeing him, left everything and came to live on this island with their son. This was the year 1932. This couple came here about 3 years after Drive Ritter's arrival. Both of them come here and meet Ritter and his wife. But it is clear that they are not happy with their arrival. However, Hans thought that Dr. Ritter would be impressed by seeing him. Sensing his displeasure, Hans tells Dr. Ritter to impress him that your philosophy has started becoming famous all over the world and I too have left the world and come here after being impressed by it. I and my wife are very big fans of yours. Even after hearing this, Dr. Ritter does not show any excitement but starts giving him a tour of the island and tells him that living alone here is not easy at all. He tells that it is very difficult to escape from the wild animals here and there is no water source on this island except 2 small springs which store rainwater. Dr. Ritter now loads his wife's luggage on his wife's bed donkey and leaves her near a cave on top of the hill and says that I cannot give you a place in my camp. But this time you will be able to pass easily. And I am sure that if you have come here, you will make your own arrangements for your stay. Before leaving, he also tells them to return my wife's donkey before nightfall. At night, we are shown Dr. Ritter and his wife who were talking to each other. Dr. Ritter's wife makes fun of the newcomers and says that I don't know what these fools thought to come here. They cannot live a life like us. Every other day they will come to seek our help and I am very disturbed by these things. Riche laughs and says that is why I have left him in the upstairs garage where dead bodies rot. If they spend the night in the cold, they will die by morning. On the other hand, we are now shown Hans and his wife who started working hard day and night to convert that car into a house. These people decide to collect rainwater for drinking water. They made a big pit in the ground and attached a lot of cut bamboos to it. Due to this, whatever rainwater came in those bamboos, it used to get stored in the pit below. Slowly these people were trying to reduce their difficulties. But his wife Margaret was not at all comfortable living here. The sounds of wild animals and big insects at night did not let her sleep. The condition in which Dieter had left them. At night the cold here used to increase so much that it became difficult to breathe. They used to make the environment here livable with great difficulty by lighting a fire. Days keep passing like this and one day Margaret tells Hans that her periods are 3 months late. Which means she is pregnant. Hans becomes very happy on hearing this news. But Margaret was not happy. She did not want to give birth to this child in such an environment. The next day it is shown that both the couples go out in the forests of the mountains in search of food and then they hear the sound of a gunshot from a distance. Ritter looks through his binoculars and finds out that someone else has also come to their island and this makes him very angry. He wanted to spend his life alone. It is revealed that a girl named Aloise had come here with her 2 friends. They had also brought a servant with them and as soon as they arrive, these 3 start having fun together. When Gitter and his wife return to their home, both of Aloise's friends lift his chair on their shoulders and take it in front of him. Aloise meets Ritter's wife and tells her that she has come from a royal family and tells her that she has come here for the famous Dr. Ritter. In the meantime, the doctor also retires. He comes in front of them. Seeing him, Aloise stands up and starts praising him and says that I always wanted to meet the man who left running after the world and created a new kingdom of his own. She says that I have praised you in front of everyone. Even in front of the president and the governor, that you even removed all your teeth to create a new life so that you do not get any infection while living on that island and you can move forward in your life and write a great philosophy which will benefit the world. Dieter asks her, where are you people going to live now? So she tells that we are deciding to go camping near the beach. Dieter tells that there is not even drinking water there. I will tell you a better place than that. The scene cuts and in the next scene it is shown that Aloysius and his friends were bathing in a pond and enjoying. Seeing this, Hans and his wife quickly come and scold them and ask them to get out of the pond. It is revealed that this was the pond they had built in which they used to store rainwater, and this was their only source of water. Aloys apologizes to them and says, "Sorry, I did not know about this." She introduces herself to them and tells them that from now on we are also your neighbors. I want to build a very big resort on this island where only millionaires will come. The engineer of the project is Rodolphe, while Robert has come here as his bodyguard. Now here Aloys gives him some letters, some of which were for Hans and some she tells Hans that you have to give to Dr. Ritter. When Hans gives them to Dr. Ritter, Ritter sees that those letters are already opened. He gets angry and asks that Aloys could have given me this letter directly as well. These people insult Hans. So Hans goes to Aloys in anger and says, "What was the need to give me that letter? Do you want to create a fight between us?" Then Royce says that Britain also did the same. To create a fight between you and us. He told us about your water source as a pole where we went and started enjoying. Hans becomes silent after listening to this because he already knew that Dr. Dieter used to trouble them often. After a few days, we are shown that Hans and his wife were building their house. By joining stones here. Meanwhile, Aloys and his friends also come near their house and tell that we are going to camp here because it is very hot on the beach side where we had camped. And she tells them that we will not disturb you people at all, and when our resort is built, we will leave from here and will not use your water source for long because soon Rolf, who is an engineer, will find a new water source here. Many days pass. Rudolph works hard day and night, digs. But he does not find any water source here. And he gets very frustrated with this thing. He also gets angry at the fact that he keeps working alone, while here Aloys and Robert keep enjoying themselves. One day he gets so angry that he goes into Aloys and Robert's private time and starts getting angry at them. He tells Aloys that you were crazy to bring me here. I am an engineer. You did not have any plan, there was no garden here. You are just pulling me here and wasting my time. Aloys gets angry with these things and she turns white and goes into the forests. It had been so many days that these people did not have anything to eat. That is why Robert and Rodolphe start keeping an eye on Hugh's house to steal food from there. It is shown that today Margaret had started having a strange stomach ache. She knew that the time had come when she would have to give birth to a baby. She calls Hans loudly. But Hans was not nearby. She goes out. Calls everyone for help. Shouts. Robert and Rolf stay hidden. But they do not come out to help her. Margaret leaves from here and decides to go to Aloys's tent to ask for help, and it is shown from the back that after getting the chance, they enter Marker's house to steal. Here Aloys also does not come out of the tent even after hearing Margaret's sad voice because she did not want to help Margaret. Margaret returns to her house tired, and as soon as she returns, Robert and Rodolphe hide, taking all the food that they had just stolen. Margate now there was no choice. She spreads newspaper on the ground and gets ready to give birth to the child alone, while it is shown that both of them were secretly watching her. Today her cow also started making a lot of noise. The cow which they had caught from the jungle a few days ago, and this cow was giving them a lot of milk. When Margaret is feeding her, then due to severe pain, blood starts oozing out of Margaret's body, and on hearing the smell of blood, wild dogs come to attack her. Margaret did not have anything here. She picked up a broom. She was trying to escape from all this. First the pain, and on top of that no one was with her during this fight. Finally that point also comes when Margaret becomes very weak. On the other hand, it is shown that Rodolphe goes and tells Aloys that you should help her. But Aloys refuses to do so. Aloys' servant gets angry at his insolence and tells him to fire him right now because he cannot leave a person in such a difficult situation and he has to go to help him. On the other hand, it is shown that Margaret's baby was also born and stray dogs were trying to eat him. Before anything bad happens, Hans and his son reach there, and in time they manage to drive away all these dogs. Going forward, Hans sees that his son was healthy but Margaret's condition had become very bad. After giving birth to the child, she fainted and after that she was not able to regain consciousness. Hans runs to Dr. Ritter to seek his help. But Dr. Ritter also refuses to help him in any way. Hans was now broken. Seeing her condition, Dr. Ritter's wife asks him to help her, and when Dr. Ritter reaches Marker, he sees that her condition has worsened and her placenta was still inside her body. To remove it, he asks Hans for a spoon and hot water. And with the help of these two things, he operates on Margaret. Margaret also gets very dirty. But due to this painful process, her life is saved in the end. Now the scene is cut and we are shown a scene of many months later. Summer had now arrived on the island. Due to the heat, the entire island had dried up and there was a great shortage of water here. Obviously, now they had less food left and Leiter was also not able to write his philosophy anymore. Alois had also run out of everything to eat. Rudolph, who was his engineer, comes to Hasse's house to ask for food when his condition worsens due to hunger. Huss and Margaret give her food and treat her well. Seeing this, she realizes that Alois had never treated her like this. She likes it and starts telling them the truth about Alois. He tells her that Alois is not from any royal family but she is a common and poor girl. Her royal style, way of talking, her knowledge, all are taken from books and she has worn clothes borrowed from someone. She is living an artificial life. She thought of herself as a princess in her dreams and started making herself a princess in the real world too. He tells her that her parents also left her. After which she started dancing in a club in Paris and there she met Robert and Rudolph. She used to read Dr. Ritter too. It was from him that she came to know about this island and she brought Rudolph here on the pretext of making a hotel. Well, the scene cuts and we are shown that a very big Hollywood film director had come to this island with his entire team and had brought a lot of food supplies for all these people. He was also very impressed with Dr. Ritter and had come to meet Dr. Ritter. As soon as Alois gets the news of his arrival, she becomes happy because she felt that she would control the director and fulfill all her dreams through him. Alois gets ready well and goes to meet that man. This man does not give much importance to Alois and she does not like it either. At night it is shown that a director had organized a party here. In Dr. Ritter's honor, he thanks Dr. Ritter that Dr. Ritter had given very good philosophies to the world and at the same time he also praises Dr. Ritter's bravery because he came alone to this island and started his life. At the same time he also praises the market that it has given birth to the first child on this island. After the party is over everyone goes home, they leave and Lois comes to know that they had not come here to make a film. They had just come to party and would leave the next morning. Alois had less time. That is why Alois comes to the director again and starts showing her charms to him. While the director also tells her that he has no interest in Alois. But when Alois tells him that I am lonely living here, the director starts laughing loudly and says, "Now I understand. Actually you are not from any royal family. You are just acting to be from a royal family, because what you just did, girls from royal families do not do that. And if you are thinking that I will be your ticket to this island, then you are very wrong." Saying this, he leaves from there and Alois is completely shattered after hearing this truth from someone else. Well, she had thought that if she could not live with the director, then at least she would leave this island in the director's ship and make her life normal again. She would go away from this phase of hunger and thirst, but when she woke up in the morning, she came to know that the ship had already left from here and thinking this, she goes into depression. She breaks down. This was the first time that what she wanted did not happen to her. Here, when Dr. Ritter wakes up, he sees that Alois has stolen all the supplies that the Hollywood director had given him. Dr. Ritter gets very angry and goes to Alois. He tells Alois that you have to choose a side. Me or Alois, she is troubling us and I cannot tolerate anything more than this. Alois tells him that I was with you even when you did not even like me. Dr. Ritter says, then what are you waiting for? Let's go to take revenge. Both of them reach Alois' camp with their rifles. They ask Alois to return their food. Alois says, I will not give it. And what do you think? You have come here to support Ritter. Will Ritter give you some of his food? Absolutely not. Ritter points his gun in anger and Robert also points his gun at them. Before something bad happens or someone gets murdered, Margaret comes and stops their fight and tells them to go to their respective homes. When Ritter comes home, he has gone mad with anger. He was neither able to write philosophy nor was he able to live on this island. He breaks his typewriter in anger and tells Dora that now I will not die of hunger anymore. I am going for hunting. Dora also reminds him that we are vegetarians. But Dr. Ritter tells him that it doesn't matter to me. I just want food. Whatever I get. On the other hand, it is shown that Rudolph had come to Hans's house again because Hans treated Rudolph well and also gave him food. At this time also he is eating food when Alois starts shouting for him from outside. She also gives him food and while returning his clothes to him, she says that if you want to go from here then go. Rudolph's eyes fill with tears. He tells Alois that if you need anything while leaving for the last time, then you can tell me. The scene cuts and we are shown a scene of midnight. Hans Dora was at his house when he heard strange sounds from outside. He thought that thieves have come. He went out to kill the thieves but he did not see anyone. Hans fired a bullet in the air which accidentally hit the donkey of Dr. Ritter's wife. While the thief still escaped, Huss was upset. That's why he came home and he also told Margaret that we will not mention this. It was shown that in the morning when Dr. Ritter's wife woke up, she saw that all her chickens had fallen sick and her donkey was also missing. Now Ritter's family comes to their house to ask them whether they did all that. But Huss clearly denies that he neither knows about their donkey nor about their chickens. During their conversation, they notice that someone was secretly listening to them. Apart from these two parties, there was only one group of Alois here. So both of them understood that he is the one behind everything going wrong. Both of them decide to take revenge from Alois and turn their enmity into friendship. Before they can fight with Alois, they meet Rudolph on the way. When both of them threaten to kill him, when they give him the information, he reveals the truth that he had made Dieter's wife's donkey disappear on Alois's orders. He apologizes to them and says that at least I will not do anything like this in future. I just want to get rid of this hell now. Ritter and Huss believe him and Rudolph, becoming a part of their team, goes with them to take revenge on Alois. On reaching there, these people shout and ask Alois to come out. In his place, Robert comes out first and attacks them as soon as he comes. He had overpowered Rudolph and knocked him down in such a way that he could not escape from his clutches and he was about to stab a sharp object inside Rudolph's mouth. But before that, Huss holds his neck in his elbow from behind and pulls him away from the ground and finally kills him by stabbing him. As soon as he dies, Alois comes out and starts a new drama. She says that Robert used to beat me and force himself on me. Whatever I have been doing it on his instructions. She hugs Hans and says, "Believe me. It was good that you killed him. Now I will make both of you equal partners in my resort." Hans and Ritter, who knew his reality, do not believe her and Ritter shoots at him and kills him too. They do not realize that the sound of the bullet echoed so loudly that Margot heard it. But here these two men plan to hide this crime from their wives and pick up the bodies of both of them and throw them down the hill into the sea. After which, these people make a plan and call Rudolph to their house the next day. There Rudolph comes and gives them the false news that Alois and Robert are leaving this island and while leaving they have also given this letter. Margaret does not believe him because she knew that Alois would never leave her belongings here and she had also heard the sound of a gun being fired that day and she also tells Has that I know the whole truth that both of them are dead and Ritter is behind killing them. She tells Has that Do you think Peter has become your friend? No, he used you. When the police will come here for investigation, he will trap you and throw us out of this island because he wants to live alone on this island. Well, on the other hand, now we are shown Ritter's wife who was very much fed up with Ritter's deteriorating attitude day by day and today she also tells Ritter that I am leaving you. She tells him that you have ruined my life. You came here to write philosophy. But you got me involved in politics of harassing the neighbors here. While Ritter says, don't you see that our condition today is because of less resources, it is because of them. Ritter's wife now leaves from there in anger, and on the way she meets Margaret. Margaret tells her, "Do you know what has happened to Alois? Alois and his companion have actually been killed by Ritter." Although Ritter's wife had come angry with Ritter, but even now she cannot hear a word against Ritter and says, "I don't believe." Ritter does not like beating people at all. Saying this, she leaves from there. While on the other hand we are shown that Rudolph, who was sitting sadly on the seashore. He saw a boat in the sea that he immediately signaled the boat to rescue him. The captain was also a good person that he threw a life wing away. Rudolph went to it while swimming, and finally this ship rescued Rudolph. Rudolph's happiness knew no bounds. After a year, he was leaving this hell. Ritter also sees him going, and seeing this, a new idea comes to his mind. He was very happy today that he calls his wife and says that today I have got a new idea of writing and I will write a great philosophy today. His wife also attends the print as if she is very happy. She says, "Why don't we celebrate this today? Let me do one thing. I will dress my chicken meat and give it to you." Ritter also agrees and gets busy in his work. We see that Ritter's wife cooks the meat of her sick chicken and puts it in front of Ritter, and when Ritter eats that meat, he falls very sick. His face turned blue, and at the same time, his stomach and whole body started swelling. Seeing his deteriorating condition, his wife quickly goes and calls Hangel. On seeing him, Margaret understands that he has food poisoning. Ritter's condition had deteriorated so much that he was unable to even speak, that he was on the verge of death, and in his last words, he cursed Dora. Prit dies after giving the money. They bury him here, and then many months pass. It is shown that the police had reached here for investigation. The police first catches Hans and tells him a shocking news that Ritter had accused Hans of killing Alois in his old letters which he had sent to Germany, his country. Here, when Ritter's wife is also investigated, she also gives a statement against Hans. When the investigation is done with Margaret, Margaret clearly denies this allegation and says that Hans did not do anything. On the contrary, Ritter killed Alois, and Dora, who wants to put all the blame on Hans, is herself Ritter's killer. Ritter had died of food poisoning that day, but he got the food poisoning from the chicken fed by Dora. "I know that all the chickens I gave to Dora were healthy. Dora still has those healthy chickens, and the chickens that had fallen sick are missing, which means that Dora had intentionally fed Ritter those bad chickens." Since the police could not find any evidence against Hans, the police decided to leave Hans and his family on the same island and took Dora with them. And at the end of the movie, it is told that Ritter's wife, i.e. Dora, spent the rest of her life in Germany and then died in 1943. But before dying, she had also written a book on her experience of living on the island, and her book was also a huge hit. In this book, she had made many allegations against Margaret and her family, due to which Margaret also wrote a book in response to that. In the end, what happened was that Margaret and her family started living on that island, and finally they also built a small resort on that island where tourists visit even today. Here we are also told about Rudolph's ending. The news about him was that his ship ran out of fuel, due to which his ship disappeared in the ocean, and he was also killed. In the post-credits scene of the movie, it is told that Margaret stayed on the same island until she grew old and died, and in the end we are also shown the small Margaret resort built on this island, and the movie ends here showing just this.